Hey everybody, and I am back with another edition of Trey Rowland's Drive-Thru on the Double Fries No Slaw cast, sponsored by Guthrie's of Tallahassee, and I'm sure many of their other fine locations. Check them out, get some tendies, sauce them up, no slaw, unless you want me to think less of you. So, we're back, and I'm talking now literally from the parking lot of my day job, which, contrary to popular belief with the kind of face that I'm rocking, is not as a third extra in a 1970s like gangbang porno. I do have a respectable job, and I am ranting in the front seat of my car about Florida State football, looking like a psychopath in my parking lot on my lunch break. And not a great start for the old Trey Rowland's drive-thru. Might have to start calling this Preston Parker's drive-thru, because if Saturday was any indication, this segment has brought nothing but shame and displeasure from the football gods. It's bad, but our record's going to get better. We can't lose going into the bye, right? Anyway, speaking of losses, Florida State loses to the Louisville Cardinals 48-16. Scott Satterfield takes stale papadillas and beats us to death with them and drowns our body in the Papa John's garlic sauce. It was bad. Florida State started off, and it looked to me all the hallmarks of two bad defenses playing a shootout. We go down the field, we score. Jordan Travis dribbles the basket, dribbles a football on the turf, dribbles his nuts on Louisville's forehead. Everything's looking great. 7-0. Louisville scores with the greatest of ease. There's some questionable play from the secondary. We get burned by Tutu Atwell on a post over the middle. Okay, 7-7. Florida State has drops. Florida State allows Louisville to get the ball back, has Javian Hawkins bottled up in the backfield, somehow did not watch any film of him or didn't know that this man was capable of a cutback, cuts it back for like 70 yards. And that's the story of the game. The story of the game was Florida State had a chance early, killed itself with penalties, and then, in my estimation, rolled over and said, "Rub my tummy," like a puppy dog, because they gave up. It was bad. There was so many mistakes all over the field. Louisville had about, let me check my super secret stat notebook here. Louisville had 569 total yards of offense, about 9.3 yards per play. It was closer to 10 yards per play before garbage time, which is abysmal. Florida State had about 400 yards of offense, most of that on the ground, averaging around 5 yards per play. But they were honestly, from the first quarter when they were down 21-7, were never even in the game against a 1-4 Louisville Cardinals team, a team with the 99th ranked defense in the S&P Plus. It was a really, really, in my opinion, and I go over on the triple option on the X's and Knowles YouTube, Tomahawk Nation, check me out there. Really, really, my most disappointing performance of the year. Javian Hawkins had 3 touchdowns, first time he's ever done that. So thank you for the NFL draft tape, Florida State defense, just making people money all over the place. 3 touchdowns, 174 yards of offense on 16 carries. So let me carry the one. Yeah, it's like 11 yards per carry. Pretty gross. Tutu Atwell, 130 yards receiving, just ate up our defense. Gave Malik Cunningham all the easy throws. If there were bright spots of the game, the only one I could think of is possibly the running backs. Lawrence Toafili came in, had about 76 yards on 9 carries. Webb had around 74. The offense, we averaged, about like 6.6 yards per carry, 265 yards on the ground. So that was really the only good part. Jordan Travis was okay. Decision-making was marginal. He was obviously hurt. We found out after the game, so he wasn't the running threat that he normally is. Also was not bailed out by his wide receivers at all. The worst game, and I know I've said this before, the worst game that I've seen from Florida State wide receivers ever. Keyshawn Helton, worst game as a Seminole. Just plagued by drops all over the place. No favors done. No favors done. The Florida State defense, the secondary they were atrocious. The safeties, in my estimation, stood out the least. Like, they were the least effective. JLW, Jaden Lars Woodby, he of the hyphenated last name, played like garbage. Backed up by Raymond Woody III, who also played like garbage. Cornerbacks, Jarvis Brownlee had a tough game. The linebackers, it's still a lot of Still a lot of indecision, miscoordination between the levels of the defense. The defensive line got some penetration, but really struggled with cut blocks, really struggled with contain, not as disruptive, just a really, really poor performance coming off the top 5 win against North Carolina. Like, really disappointing. So the question of the day was, can Florida State string together two respectable performances in a row? Utah, give me 2. And the answer was resounding no. It was awful. Chubba Purdy got in the game, so that was interesting, and had the most interesting 0-for-9 debut in college football history. I think they dropped the ball 5 times on him. I think there was like 6. I think PFF said they had 6 drops of the game. It felt like 60 watching it live. It was terrible. Chubba had a drop from Keyshawn Helton. He had drops from Kentron Poitier. Drops all over the place. So here we go. We go into the bye week. And where does Florida State go from here? Where do they go? We thought the game against UNC might have been a potential inflection point, a program-building win. We had our guys smoking cigars in the locker room after getting the first ACC win of the season and going to 2-3. In hindsight, interesting decision that shows just how much a win means to this team. And what do you do in the bye week? Where do you go from here? Where do you go from quarterback? Jordan Travis, since he's been inserted into the offense, hasn't really done anything to lose his job, but you have started to see the limitations of the offense with his arm when he can't run the ball. You got a more vertical, a stronger arm in a Chubba Purdy. Where do they go here? Do you work in the quarterbacks? Do you go straight youth movement? What does Adam Fuller do on the defense? Just getting absolutely gutted these past 6 games. I don't know if an answer is on the roster, but I'll be honest, I don't know if we're maximizing the talent that we have right now. There's questions all over the place. Mike Norvell and the boys have a lot to simmer over this bye week, and it was pretty gross, and it sucks, and we as Florida State fans deserve better. So hopefully we're going to get better, and the Trey Rowland's drive-through curse will be eliminated. It will be gone. I love you guys. Thank you, Double Fries, No Slaw. Continue to listen. Go Noles. Come on, guys. Go Noles.